Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Power of Words. Today we're looking at the suffix ing. The ing suffix comes from the Anglo-Saxon, and like the morphemes s and ed, it is a very common suffix in English. The ing suffix has several functions. First, when it's attached to a verb, it indicates continuous action. So for example, the verb gather becomes gathering. The ing suffix can also be used to indicate a word that's an adjective or a noun. What I would like to do today is show you some of the ways I taught this to my grade 7 class. The nice thing about the Morpheme Magic lessons is that they can be scaled to a variety of grades. The first thing I would do, and I did this every time we looked at a new morpheme, is give them a focus word, often provided by Morpheme Magic. In this case, the word gathering. I would then give them a half sheet of paper on which they would write the focus word. So I'd have them write gathering. And then I'd ask them to box the morphemes, which would look something like this. So basically what I'd have them do is box the morphemes. So put a box around, in this case, the suffix, ing, and then a box around the root word here, as in gather. And this would be really good because this would help students visualize the morphemes of each word that we're looking at. It's a very simple activity. I give them maybe a minute maximum to work on this. Again, if you have younger grades and you want to do this, you may want to give them a little more time. But I found between 30 seconds to a minute was enough. As the year progressed, I would branch out and provide more complex words with multiple morphemes. For example, these words would include 3 or more morphemes. This was an effective way of informally assessing students' understanding of morphemes. Next, I wanted to reinforce for students that words ending in ing can indicate either continuous action, an adjective, or a noun. I gave them 3 sentences and then asked them to identify what part of speech the word gather represents in each of those sentences. I had them then either at the end of the sentence or on top of the word write whether it was a noun, an adjective, or a continuous action. So hopefully, when they did the exercise, it would look something like this. So the florist is gathering flowers for the bouquets. This is a verb because gathering in this case is a continuous action. The florist is still gathering flowers. The florist hasn't finished it. It's something that you're walking into. The gathering storm appears in the distance. Gathering in this case is definitely our adjective. I'm just using the abbreviation there. It describes the noun, in this case, storm. So the storm is gathering, is a descriptive word. And then finally, the gathering in the woods was spur of the moment. Gathering in this case is a noun. In this case, it's a thing, the gathering. Another activity I did with my students was to create the following box. In the circle, I gave the students the verb clap. And so they'd write clap in the circle to represent that this is the root word. In box number 1, I then have them write the root, clap, and then add the ing ending. And the reason I use clap as the verb in this case is because it's useful to emphasize certain spelling conventions and rules when adding suffixes to the end of root words. So once they had clapping with the ing, in box number 2, I then had them write a sentence using clapping as a verb. So they could use a sentence something like, the crowd was clapping. And again, depending on your students, you can have the sentences as simple or complex as you want. So box number 2, use clapping in a sentence as a verb. In box number 3, they would use clapping as an adjective. So maybe the clapping crowd was loud. And then finally, in box number 4, they would have to use clapping as a noun. The clapping didn't stop. And again, based on the abilities of your students, you can extend this activity however you like. This is just a great quick activity to reinforce the idea that ing can function as continuous action, as an adjective, and as a noun. All right, well, I would love to see what you could come up with in the comments below. Please use a verb of your own and create some sentences using that verb with the ing as an adjective, a continuous action, and a noun. Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again when we explore another example of the power of words.